So in this video, I want to kind of talk about shame and just talk about some insights I've had this morning. So I was using ChatGPT this morning, as I do many days, most days actually. I think every day now. Let me know if you use ChatGPT or any other AI. I think it's actually really useful. Actually, one of the reasons why I don't do these videos as much is because it's like I've got this AI, and it's like it can be very useful for the kind of mind that I have that likes to inquire and whatnot. It's like it's kind of like a journaling process on steroids in a way, because you've got another kind of intelligence to and you can prompt it to be how you need it to be. Anyway, I wanted to share some insights about shame and whatnot. So I'm using this app at the moment so I can see what the conversation. So yeah, I'm a bit hesitant to make this video. Not because I have anything like controversial or whatever. It's just like I think there's a perfectionism within me at the moment around making this video, because like, I've got some good insights I want to share, and it's like, okay, I've got to get it right. I've got to share them right. So saying that out loud, putting it out in the open, good thing to do. So anyway, so every morning that I wake up, there's this sense of wrongness, something being wrong, my life being wrong, me being wrong, life itself being wrong. Things not being enough. And this really is a very deep issue for me, and I think it's something that's very deep in probably most people, actually. But I think a lot of people think that voice, or not even voice, but it's kind of the whole experience is infused with it. This sense of wrongness, people are so in it that they can't see it. It's so prevalent, it's so all pervading that they think that's how life is. And then so it's like, okay, this is life, and this life seems to be telling me that I have to go and do something. This sense of something being wrong, not being enough, that's just how life is, and I've got to do something about it. So I've got to work to get a job and get friends and money and all this kind of stuff. And I don't think most people really question this deeply, because, like I said, it's like being a fish in water. A fish doesn't know what water is, because it's all it knows. But there's something going on here, right? But anyway, I just want to talk about my own experience with this, because there seems to be shame. This is what I woke up this morning and that's what I typed into ChatGPT. I said, every morning I wake up and I feel shame, like I've done something wrong or that I am wrong. Yes, this is deep. There's this heaviness, this feeling of being weighed down and being ashamed of myself. So I've got like the transcript here, the prompt. So I'm like scrolling down through. Because there's some good insights in this conversation that I had with artificial intelligence that I do want to share with you. So I'm going to try and find the gold in here. Yeah, so AI was saying that waking up with shame and feeling like you're wrong is usually rooted in a deep learned belief. Not that you actually did anything wrong, but that somewhere along the line you internalized the idea that your being wasn't okay. This is what AI is saying. So AI said, the core of this isn't about fixing behavior, it's about seeing that the belief itself is a lie. And so I said, like, I don't see it as a lie, I see it as true. Because that's how it feels, you know. It's like, obviously, if you saw it as a lie, it wouldn't affect you at all. Obviously, there's something within you that makes you believe it to be true. And so I said, like, the evidence that I have for what proves that I'm wrong, that I'm somehow not enough or whatever, is that in the past I feel like I haven't been loving enough or proactive enough or whatever. And honestly, man, I don't know how much I don't think it's the best idea to be doing it like this, to be doing ChatGPT and shit on video, simply because it just doesn't flow well. It doesn't really sit right with me. Like, it's good to use it sometimes, because like I said, it's like it's like journaling, and then you've got some other outside perspective that can show you your blind spots and your self-biases, and you can even point that out. You can be like, because usually AI is like quite nice and actually feeds your self-biases, but if you just directly say, it's like, come on dude, like, don't suck up to me, I want the truth, like, tell me if I'm deceiving myself, tell me if I'm bullshitting myself, tell me like what's actually going on here, because I mean that's how you're going to grow, you know. A lot of people, and you know, it's whatever, you know, it's natural to want to be agreed with, but it's like, if you want to do serious work and understand your mind or whatever, it's like you've got to digest the things that you don't want to digest. So you have to be like, you know, you could even ask AI to to play the critic, play the whatever, devil's advocate, you know, tell it to me how it really is, you know, don't sugarcoat shit, don't suck up to me, don't tell me how great I am, you know. I think that's good too. You don't want to go too far on the other side, because then you just feel fucking worthless about yourself, feel shit about yourself. You need to have compassion for yourself too, but I think sometimes AI is too compassionate, you know. But anyway, yeah, so let me just kind of get to the good bits that I felt like were kind of good. And so bear with me here. Yeah, so this is interesting. So if you're not familiar with IFS, which is internal family systems, which is a kind of therapy modality, I highly recommend checking it out. It's really good. It's very intuitive. Like, basically, this kind of therapy, this model, is basically very intuitive. It's just basically saying like, there's like a family system within us that we have parts. We're not one fucking person. There's so many different parts of us within our own psyche that's always interacting with itself. And it's very interesting. I recommend checking it out. And so there are some parts of us that we've like exiled because, you know, they're not good enough for whatever people have told us, that we're not, you know, not acceptable or whatever. And so then there are like these parts of us that protect, have these protective mechanisms to prevent the exile coming up to the surface. But it's like the exile just wants love. And, you know, all this is like, we've got all these parts of ourselves, and like all of them just want love. And, you know, we've got parts that are like, you know, exiled, and parts that are protecting and guarding and managing and all this kind of shit. And what IFS does, what it seeks to do is kind of, you kind of want to allow these parts to speak. What do these parts want to say? See, because some parts of you may be very mature, but other parts may be like stuck in the past, very immature, they may be stuck like 5 years old, never got the love that they needed, and they've just been exiled. And blah blah blah, whatever, you know what I mean. And so this is what I was kind of getting to. So AI was like, you know, drop into that feeling and ask, why are you here? What do you want me to know? What did I do that was so wrong? And so I said, and this was kind of the feeling into that kind of shameful part, that ashamed part within me, letting that speak. And this is kind of what it said. I'm here because we did many things wrong. We weren't enough for the people that you wanted to be enough for. We need to do better. And so AI was like, okay, now ask, what did we do wrong? Who were we trying to be enough for? And that kind of stuff. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to get too personal. But this is an interesting thing here. This is really something very core in my life. And I notice it with a lot of people too. So this is what the part kind of said. We did many things wrong. We didn't assert ourselves and our authentic truth. We let other people walk on us like a mat. We took things well past the expiry date. You let yourself get hurt over and over and over and over and over again by the same things because you didn't stand up for yourself and your truth. And you didn't stop the bad habits soon enough when it was important to stop them. AI says, that voice is deeply disappointed, not because you were evil, but because it was your potential, your truth, your light, and it watched you not protect it. It's not screaming because it hates you, it's screaming because it loved you and watched you betray yourself. And maybe no one else saw it, but you did, so now you carry the punishment. And then AI goes on to say, what if this voice doesn't need to be silenced to overcome, but met? Like, quote unquote, yeah, you're right. I didn't protect myself. I didn't act with full love and clarity. And I'm so fucking sorry. Try saying to that part, not from shame, but from love. Like apologizing to your own heart. Try, quote unquote, you're right. I didn't protect us. I abandoned our truth. And I'm sorry. I hear you now. What do you need from me today? Then it says, and tell me what it says back. And so I said, sure. This is the part, the shamed part, whatever. This part says, I know you're sorry, but you won't change. I don't believe you will. It's too hard for us to change now. Like, this is the thing. Like, over time, there's this part of us that we keep exiling or pushing away. And so over time, it starts to distrust us more and more. It can't trust us because we're not coming to it like a parent to a child. Like, if a parent is not tending to the child or whatever, it's like the child's just going to give up hope that the parent's ever going to fucking come and give it the love that it needs, It's been disappointed over and over and over again. It's asking for love, and it's been disappointed. It's been shut down over and over and over again. And so it gives up. It's like, okay, well, like, fuck, I can't fucking trust. I can't trust this me, this other, And yeah, this is what AI says. It says, this part has been disappointed so many times that it would rather assume you'll fail again than risk being let down one more time. It's trying to protect itself by not trusting you. So blah blah blah, talking to the computer. On a side note, just when talking about AI, what is the difference between talking to AI and talking to someone on text message? The only difference is your mind says this is real, this is not real. It's the only difference. See, this is very interesting because imagine a time in the future where we get to the point where we're making physical robots and we put ChatGPT, the interface, into this robot, and then we get to the point where we make these physical robots look identical to human beings so that the human eye cannot tell the difference visually between a human and a robot. You're looking at a robot, you're looking at a human, and you're like, they look very similar. No, they look exactly the same. Like, I don't know which one is real. Like, I'm sure we're going to get to the point of that. And to the point where we've configured AI to be so realistic and whatever in its movements and its speech and everything, right? Like, theoretically it's possible. And so at what point you know, because then this brings solipsism into question a lot. You know, it's like, what is real? You know, because ultimately it's like every person you've ever interacted with, you've had no evidence to prove that they are having their own conscious experience. You know, it's like you can't say, okay, this is a robot here, they don't have their own subjective conscious experience. This is a human here, they do have a conscious subjective experience. That's just happening within the mind. You're projecting that onto the mind and then believing that. And so it's like, this person is real because they have a subjective experience. This robot is not real because they don't have a subjective experience. But you don't actually know. You only know your subjective experience. You only know your experience. And so, again, there's like this virtual reality analogy. You put on a VR headset, you're talking, you know, we'll get to the point where VR feels just like real life as well. You won't be able to tell the difference. You put on a VR headset and it'll be like, honestly, mate, like all the sensations and everything else, it feels identical to quote unquote real waking reality life. And so when you're talking to someone in the VR world, you know that it's just a pre-programmed character that's just code, yet it feels so real, feels just as real life. And so the only difference between that and then quote unquote real life is your mind saying, this is real, this is not real. Believe in it. And so it's fucking wild, dude. And if we get to that point in the future, yeah, there's going to be a lot of fucking ontological shock. See, I've already gone through it, man, but most people haven't. Most people still have this sense of what's real and what's not real. You know what I mean? You don't know what's fucking real, man. Like, again, what's the difference between watching the news on the TV and watching, like, a soap opera? It's just your mind says this is real, this is not real. But what if you start looking at the soap opera as real and looking at the news as fiction? You see, because your mind has the capacity to do that if you want it to do that. Anyway, that's a side note. Let's get back into shame. So, I was suggesting beneath this, let's drop further, beneath the disappointment, beneath the protective voice, what's under that? And I said, under that is grief and despair and abandonment. And this is really the insight that when I read it, I was like, oh, fuck. Because it's just very true. AI said, this shame, it's not really moral judgment, it's not really self-hatred, it's abandonment grief. You didn't just do things wrong, you let yourself. You didn't just do things wrong, you left yourself. You didn't show up for your truth, your needs, your voice, and now this part of you is mourning that every day. It's really interesting, man. Like, this shame is here, this sense of me being wrong, the world being wrong, just this heaviness, this feeling of weight of things being wrong. It's because I left myself. I didn't show up for myself. I didn't show up for my truth, my own needs, my own voice. And now, this part, the one part is like every single day grieving that, like being like in like regret in a sense. It's not really regret, I would say, but it's like just this deep kind of disappointment perhaps. And then AI says, that's why it hurts every morning. It's not punishment. It's the echo of your own inner child waking up again and finding you gone. And there's this whole thing again with IFS, internal family systems. The whole thing is going back to this part and, being there for it, with it. Being there with it and for it. Not abandoning it. This is what I think internal family systems is all about, is like go into all these parts that we have abandoned because society has really taught us to abandon these parts of ourselves. It's go into these parts of ourselves and really bringing them back home with us. And again, like a family, it's like you got all these kids that you just abandoned, and you're like, fuck dude, I'm a shit parent, I gotta go out and like fucking rescue all my children that I've abandoned, right? And then you gotta give them the love that they never got. Gotta retrieve them. And it's not an easy task, man, but I think most people don't even realize that this is what's happening at all. So the first step is to be aware that this is what is happening. So AI says, go to this part and say like, you're right, I left you. I don't know how to stay, but I see you now. You're not alone anymore. I'm not going anywhere. And and I said, well, it doesn't trust me, like I said, it's like you go to this part, you say like, okay, I'm here with you now. It's like, let's try and make things better. And this part is like crossing its arms and going, no, fuck off, man. Fuck off. You fucking disappointed me time and time again. I can't fucking trust you. Like, why you want this now? It's like, why do you want this now? Do you want this because you want to feel better? Well, fuck you. You know what I mean? This part, it's like you can't do IFS because you want to be better. Because then you're like, oh, come on, part, come fucking back, and I'll give you the love so I can be better. It's not about being better. It's just about you're not going to get anything from it. It's about love simply for love. And yet AI says it can't trust you yet, not because it's cruel, but because it's been let down too many times. It's built through consistency in the face of despair. Also, trust isn't built through moments of sincerity. Trust is built through consistency in the face of despair. And yeah, then I said, like, this part doesn't even tell me what it needs anymore, though, because it's given up on me. See, this is the interesting thing, and I think this is, like, one of the reasons why in these videos that I make, I talk so often about, what do I do? It's like I wake up every morning, I'm like, I don't fucking know how to live my life. I don't know what to do. And it's because it's like, I need a whole I need to like consult the whole of me, the whole of the parts, and for all of these parts to work together as one. And so yeah, it's like, oh, what do I do with my life? What do I do today? And it's like, oh God, what do I do? And you see these parts that have been abandoned, they've got valuable things to say. These are the parts that if I could come and fucking rescue and whatever, like, I would know what to do, because these parts have, in that given moment, you know, these are the parts that have the answer. You know, sometimes I know what to do in life. Sometimes it's like, I feel like, yeah, I'm on the right track, I know what to do, because because I'm being guided by the parts that haven't been abandoned, and it feels like these parts are the ones that feel necessary to guide me in this moment. But sometimes there are other moments where the other parts need to guide me, yet I've abandoned them. And it's like, if I go towards these parts, you know, it's like I'm stuck in this numb limbo, because the part doesn't tell me what it needs, because it's given up on me. It doesn't fucking trust me. It's been disappointed over and over again. So it's just learned that it won't be met with sincerity. And so that's the end of the conversation I have with ChatGPT. There's some few insights that I wanted to share. You see, this is very difficult, because I feel like a lot of us in the world, we depend our love on other people. We hinge being loved and accepted on other people, our family, our partners, the world, our communities. We're always looking for it in something other than ourselves, because it's fucking hard to look for that in yourself. And I feel like this is one of the reasons why it felt like the right thing to do for my ex-partner and I to split up, was because this is what was happening for me. That I was relying on them for the source of love, relying on them to feel loved. And ultimately, like, I need to find that for myself, you know? see, it's been like this my whole life, and only now in my life it feels like I have to show up for myself, you know. It's like I have to be for me. It's like, you know, my ex-partner and I got together when we were 16 years old. So it's like I relied on my parents for love. And then it's like I shifted that and then relied on my ex-partner for love. And now it's like, okay, now I'm like an adult now. And it's like, you know, and I'm just in that stage of leaving my parents behind in a sense. You know, in the sense of, you know, going off my own way, being more independent, you know. Whatever, man. You know what I'm fucking trying to get at here, you know? It's like, we all know this, right? But it's hard to really do the work, do this kind of work when, yeah, you are like surrounded by friends and family and whatever, because it's just like taking the easy route of like, you know, it's just easier to get love from other people, like to rely on other people. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. Because I feel like that's how most people operate, you know. Because to actually get love from yourself and not need it from anyone else is very lonely. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of independent thinking and going your own way. I think to begin with, you feel kind of connected, but you feel connected within this kind of model of society and culture. And then it's like, if you want to do the work, you have to go your own way, and then you feel really lonely. But then when you start to love yourself and whatever, blah, 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 then you come back to feeling connected again, but you're connected in an existential way, not just connected in this social or cultural sense with people, but you're connected on an existential way of, it's like, okay, we're not connected, like I can't relate to you anymore on a social and cultural way because I've gone beyond it, but now I can relate to you on the most fundamental existential level, because fundamentally what's happening here is we're the same being, the same life that is emerging. And there is still a kind of aloneness in that, because most people don't recognize that, and most people are not connecting on that level. But it's the truth. And so whatever. So yeah, there are some insights I want to give you. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.